advice I would give to kids coming out of high school going into college, I tell them, to work hard, make sure your grades are up. That's the most important thing. Well, that's the first thing that colleges will look at. Besides your athletic ability, they'll check up on your, your GPA, your schoolwork, how things are with that. So going into your senior year of high school, I'd pick that up a lot, especially. And then I guess heading into your freshman year of college, the important thing is to work hard. When I was in college, two things I used to tell myself was, do you want to be a hero or zero? And that pretty much means, take the easy way, you can take the hard way. The hard way is trying to be a hero, and the easy way would be a zero, you'd be nobody. So I'd always tell myself, be a hero, do things out of the ordinary, do things that are extraordinary. Say, team works out at 7, I'd be in there at 6. I get an hour in extra, because I know if I'm doing it, then you got to believe somebody else out there is doing the same thing as me. So you can never work too hard, My dad always used to tell me, winning is everything, because the losers go home and cry. And that's the mentality I had throughout my whole athletic career, was that you got to win. In order to win, you got to have that state of mind where if you lose, it's the end. Because winners go on to be bigger, better, more successful. Losers, they go home. Another thing going into college, education-wise, is to go into a degree, that'll be good for you. Something that you like, something that you enjoy, but also something that you can see yourself doing in the future. Like a lot of college athletes go into school thinking, oh, I'm just going to play football, and they don't have a backup plan. So when their football career is done, they're stuck with nothing. They don't have a degree, they haven't finished, or they're going into something that's pretty much they can't do anything with it. So my advice would be, coming out of high school, going into college, make sure your degree is applicable and it's something that you want to do, and make sure it's a good backup plan for you. Just in, if you're finished with football at the end of your career, it's something that'll work out for you, something that'll be good for you in your future. If there's one thing that I would have done differently, in high school while being recruited, was I wouldn't have gave a verbal commitment so early. Because when you do that, some teams tend to back off. Some schools tend to pull out. Like if they're offering you, they won't anymore. They'll look at somebody else. So that's one thing I would have done differently, is not commit so early.
Hello, I'm Joshua Rice, and I want to talk to you a little bit about what to expect on an official or unofficial visit. More specifically, I know it sounds silly, but what to wear. You want to be able to make a good first impression on a coach. You don't want to look sloppy or look bad. So what I recommend is wearing, a nice shirt, maybe a polo shirt and khaki pants, and something real comfortable, but also something you'll look nice in, because if you want to be confident when you're talking to coaches, and if you look confident, you'll feel confident, and then you'll come off as confident. And first impressions is a big thing about making connections with people, especially if you're talking to somebody like a coach you want to make a good impression on. So I know it sounds silly, but definitely dressing nice on a visit, talking to a coach, is very important. It's a little bit flexible depending on where you go. For instance, I went to Hawaii, and because of the culture and the climate and everywhere, I wore khaki shorts and a polo shirt with slippers, which was perfectly acceptable, but I still looked presentable. So just something you want to keep in mind when you're talking to coaches and making your visits to different colleges.